GVK and welcome again to my vlog. This time, the Group 1 mailers of Anak ni Rizal will discuss important things about media and information literacy. So check this out. Everyone's lining up to see her.
vehicles you drive, the phones you own. It may symbolize status, success, maybe even failure. There are usually two types of people who go crazy for technology. The neo-Luddites, who are people who see technology as symbolizing how technology has evolved, how it's becoming like the alienation of life. Technophiles, it symbolizes technology as a potential for a brighter future. So, under social construction of reality, media in itself creates and spreads symbols that kind of become sort of a basis for our shared understanding of society, where others subjectively create and understand their own reality with the uses of media and social interactions. For others, it may portray another form of reality where it shows status, success, or failure. Maybe others owning the latest smartphone. You can see them as a high-class, very rich type of person, or owning the most technological gadget in the class. There are some people who even go crazy for international stars, like K-pop stars. They go crazy for them. That kind of symbolizes their own reality of social media. Under social networking and social construction, social networking applications like Facebook has always been a prominent form of social media. But nowadays, a lot of people actually, have been using it as a form of promoting a product for a corporation or their business. Facebook, for example, which started as a free social network, is also becoming a monetized business, subtly selling you goods and services like consumerism in the form of games and fandom. Facebook has symbolized some form of communication, right? But it has never strayed away from its main function as a social network and as a social construction app for the society to use. That's all I have to say about symbolic interactionalism.
And lastly is the media and rise of an information society. Take it away, Jessinopia.
Thank you very much, Gabby. So, I'll be talking about the media and rise of information society. So, this is the last theoretical approach, which is considered as the rise of an information society, wherein we discuss the role of information and information technology in a society. So, this emerges from a phenomenon referred to as the communications revolution, characterizing the advent and influx of new communication technologies. Information society, characterized by increasing global connectivity facilitated by internet. Having said, anyone can access data, information, and a broad array of knowledge products and use it to advance both personal and collective goals. Information has always been important, but the amount of data and the quick spread of information nowadays are incomparable. There is much interest in the rapid evolving information and communication environment and the implications it has for the way people live their life.
Thank you once again, Mailers, for watching our vlog number 4, and tune in next time for our next vlog.
There we go, mga ka-GVK. You have heard the different point of views and opinions of the Group 1 mailers ng anak ni Rizal. And if you want to comment, please post your comment below. And please also ring the notification bell for more videos to come. Once again, maraming salamat po. Ito po ang inyong gurong vlogger ng Kuwait saying that subscribe now and laugh and learn later. Maraming salamat po and keep safe everyone.